Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends from all over the world, especially our brethren and sisterin in India, welcome back to Radioactive Curry, where we talk Indian movies. This week's movie is Pathaan. Pathaan is a 2023 Indian Hindi language action thriller film directed by Siddharth, Anand, and written by Siddharth Raghavan and Abbas Tariwala. A Pakistani general hires a private terror outfit to conduct attacks in India, while Pathaan, an Indian secret agent, is on a mission to form a special unit. Released January 25th, 2023. Yeah, good times. Let's see. 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
So wait, this just came out then?
This just came out, dude. 2.7 out of 5 on Amazon UK, and surprisingly 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, let's get into it. Michael Bay meets John Woo.
No.
Michael Bay meets John Woo. Meets Mission Impossible. Meets Fast and the Furious.
This is Triple X. That's what this is. This is the Indian Triple X, dude. Like fucking.
There wasn't any naked people.
Dude, but the girl like fucking switching fucking like that, that's Triple X. You know what I mean? Even the Bond part that I was agree with you with was that he had an M. You know what I mean? Like he had that one lady that fucking has the zits pop out her face at the near the end of it. You know what I mean? Like she's telling him what to do and stuff. So she was like the M, but like, dude, this was like a love letter to Michael Bay. Like you can't say it was Michael Bay, but this was a love letter. Like there are literal sequences where I was dying laughing.
But here's the thing, though. I just gotta say this.
Go ahead.
Why are they in the wind on a train running, and the hair's not blowing? But in the beginning, he's in a room without wind, and the hair is blowing. Magic. That to me, that screamed John Woo.
Dude, the hair. I hate these movies because they make me want hair. Like I want hair because of these movies. Like I wanted like the whole time I was watching those scenes, those real intimate close-ups. I was like, "Fuck, his hair is just flowing, dude! Like, look at it." Like I was like, "I'm gonna grow my hair out. I don't care if I'm bald. I'll get that one long one. I'm just gonna have it flowing and shit."
You're gonna have it's gonna spin around your head like
exactly, dude.
Have a hair growing contest.
He might win because I've been trying for 3 months now and it's still got a cul-de-sac up here, dude. So
sure, he's just got a monkey butt, so we're good.
There was strengths and weaknesses in this one, but go ahead, Liz, go for it.
Go, Liz, go.
Sorry, we were watching this movie and every scene we're like, "Oh, Civil War. Oh, Age of Ultron. Oh, Fast and Furious. Oh, there's a little bit of Predator. Oh, there, you know, like
yeah,
like every." It seems like they sat down one day and just watched a bunch of action flicks and like just cherry picked out the scenes that they liked and wove a tale through it. Then there's James Bond. There's a little bit of John Wick. There's a little bit of Mission Impossible. There's like.
See, you guys have this all wrong. This movie is most clearly a love letter to American action movies.
Yes.
The directors and the writers they love our top tier action films, and they basically took the best parts out of each one of them and combined it into a single film.
Yes.
When he's falling?
When he's falling at the end. I know
when he's falling, yeah.
We were watching it, and all of a sudden I went, "Oh, you know, we haven't seen it. We haven't seen Die Hard." Oh, there it is.
It was
saw Die Hard.
Civil War. When you said Civil War, I was laughing because I literally remembered that scene. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is that Civil War scene where they're fighting in the car, and like even down to where he's running in the train, and the train's going over like that. It's like that's Fast and Furious right there. Right. Like, you know,
when they fought on top of the semi truck, and I'm like, oh, there's the Matrix Reloaded right there.
And they're flying around with the jetpacks, Iron Man style.
But this has to be you guys have to admit this is one of the best entrances to our hero we've seen in a long time, where he's got his hands, like, I was having flashbacks to our movie, dude, you know, like the happy birthday song, you know, he has got the hair down and he says 3 things and, you know, you're going to remember who I am or whatever. And then he comes out and he has all the nuts of the fucking chair. And the guy, like, he ducks and just started beating the fuck out of everyone. I was like, brah fucking hell. Bravo. Dude, there was at least four sequences that they did in this one where I was like, damn it, they did it better than we did. And again, only 4. Okay. That's why I asked what year it was made. Cause I was like, the effects in some parts are rough. Dude. Like, you're like, wow, dude. Like, but I was gonna be like, oh, if this was made in, like, you know, 2020, I would have been like, oh, okay, you know, not bad, dude. Like, I'll give it credit. But you're saying this is a new one, like some of those helicopter sequences. I was like, God dang, man, what the fuck? But when he's fighting him in the house, and we've seen it in every kung fu movie, he grabs the refrigerator door to, like, block it. He fucking kicked it, and then he used it as a weapon to beat his ass with. I was like, oh, it's bad. Why didn't no one ever think of that? Like, why didn't Captain America rip off a thing and start beating the shit out of someone with? That would have been awesome.
I think Jackie Chan did something like that, like in Rumble in the Bronx.
You know, the only part of the movie, that I thought was kind of awkward was the whole minigun scene on top of the train. You know, these guys open up on him with these things, and they just use, like, 2 fallen, like, enemies as, like, shields.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, did they even watch Predator? Did they even watch to see what those guns, like, really do? And then, of course, they open up on the helicopter, and the helicopter goes down. But I'm like, but those 2 bodies held up? This is a little weird.
Well, his homie that popped out of nowhere.
When he's escaping with the girl from the pool, and he grabs his gun, I gotta get one of those guns, because I swear to God, I was counting, he ripped off 32 shots without reloading. I was man, dude, I got the wrong weapon.
And that was after she fired 22 times. So there's a total of 58 bullets in that fucking little pistol.
See, you guys have that wrong too. She had the extra clips in her vag, so she's like loading while you're not watching. So.
Well, even like again, dude, like, this was. I'm glad we watched this after the last one, because it was just like a refresher. It's like, you know, you eat a good meal, you need some, it was good. Like, you know what I mean? This was a fun ride. Like, I was watching it and I'm just like, okay, this guy's gonna be the good guy. And then the part that killed me, like the one thing that just fucking killed me, where I'm laughing, is his name was Jim, right?
Jim,
like,
I know. That's what I was gonna say. The bad guy's name is Jim. All these guys have these, like, real exotic
badass names. Yeah,
guy.
and
My name's
Jim.
Okay.
They went their whole script, and he goes, "What are we gonna call him? What's that fucking asshole's name? Jim. Fucking Jim. Fuck Jim."
He probably represents Western imperialism or something like that. You know?
Jim's played by John Abraham.
Dude, I could not stop laughing at that. And then when I would tell, so when you guys were watching it, were the subtitles telling you this type of music that was playing?
Yes.
Yeah. And then,
that shit threw me off. Like, I was like, what? I'd be all into it, and then, you know, like, the music would change, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna say something, and I look down, it's like thunderous music. I'm like, God damn it, no! I can hear that shit.
And then, like, you know, 16 times during the movie, it's like Jim's theme.
But I like Jim's theme. That's Vikram's theme is still here, dude. That's still the best fucking theme I've heard of any of these movies. But Jim's theme is coming up right behind him, dude. Like, I was just like, it was like Jaws. You know, when Jaws, when you would hear the da-da, like, you would begin to hear Jim's theme, you're like, oh shit. And that was another thing that I was fucking, by the end of the movie, I was like, Jim already figured it out. Because every time he thought that he was going to get, he's like, oh, they're going to dive in, they're going to break in, the helicopter's going to take them. And then they did, and they take the thing, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, I knew you were going to do that. So there's really this, and this. So by the end of the movie, I was like, he already figured it out. Nope, they didn't surprise his ass, dude. Like, no way.
Okay, so this one, go ahead.
He's like every other, like, villain. He's like, I'm just gonna leave you to my henchmen, and then they'll, like, walk away. I'm like, bro, you haven't learned that the bad guy has to take out the good guy, or the good guy is the only one that can take out the bad guy. As soon as Jim walks away, you're like, okay, there's another 20 minutes of this movie because I gotta catch up somewhere again and start a fight over. And
He
then
could
Jim
kick
walks
like
out
no
the
one's
room, and
business.
you're like, God dang it, there's another half an hour.
He was kicking those motherfuckers like hard. Like I know a little bit of stunt work, and that was hard shit. Like he was hitting them. Like I was like, fuck, dude. Like that one, he like would do a roundhouse, like just straight out of nowhere, just whack, and hit the guy. And I was like, fuck, dude, that looked like it hurt.
I know that opening sequence where he's like fighting them and he grabs that shotgun and then he grabs the one guy and puts it in his chest and pushes him into the other guy and shoots them both with it. And I was like, I'm in.
That was one of the scenes I said they did better than us. Fuck, dude. Like, why didn't no one ever think of doing that, dude? That's so badass.
Josh turns around at me and he goes,
when in the opening when he slid, no, forget that was the other part I dug. He slid on the propeller. He fucking slid and jumped down, and I went, fuck. Yeah, this is the first 10 minutes. Let's watch this shit, dude. This is gonna be awesome, dude. This was better than Fast 10, I'll tell you that.
It was pretty fantastical. I dug the action, but I don't necessarily think that it's had the heart. No, it's not necessarily the kind of movie that's gonna have a heart,
right?
But like heart and soul, I'll say, of some of the movies we've had recently, and I can't help but to think is that because it's 23, right? It's more modern, and then it got me thinking like, are they having the same problems over there with their modern movies having heart and soul as we are here with our modern movies?
I don't think
because
so.
Like we're watching PK, that's 10 plus years ago. We're watching what was the one we saw last week? Barfy. That's 10 plus years ago. So it just made me think like I could see this movie starring, I don't know, Jason Statham and being in English and coming out right now and having almost being like a verbatim thing and having that pop out in the theaters and thinking that it was an American action movie. So
sure,
it was just I don't necessarily know if I have an answer, if that's an answer for anything, but that came to my mind. Like, you know, I wasn't. It's an action movie, meant to be an action movie, but I've been so stoked with the originality and the creativity of the writing we've been having lately from the Indian movies that I didn't get. You might catch a stunt that's got an original piece to it or whatever, but most of it was just, you know, like rehashings of, it was like if they took the the comic book adaptations of all the action movies of the last 10 years and ripped the page out of it and then put it together and make it in Hindi. Like,
well, even down to the device. Like, I was laughing my ass off. I was like, who puts a disease in a big ass ball? And then the vault they had to get
Pokemon.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, that was. But again, like this was. They saw if this was a salute to American action movies, you know what I mean? If that's what this was, it did a great job of it because that's what it's supposed to do. Like part of the reason why I think people love Tarantino so much and like because that's what it is. All his movies are love letters to movies. You know, they're literally his favorite scenes of these oddball movies that we've never seen before. Most people have never seen before. And I think that's what this guy did was he was like, you know, okay, we're going to just make the biggest Western action movie over here. You know what I mean? Like we're in they took everything, they took their favorite scenes and said, how do we sew them together? That's why they would always have those fucking flip, like first she's a good guy, then she's a bad guy, now she's a good guy again. Like there was 20 flips because they had to have it to make it get to these certain scenes and shit. And I think they did a great job for it. Like that's what I appreciate this movie for. Like not for like plot or like anything like that. This was a great love letter. That's what it was.
Was anybody else upset when they were naming the 3-letter government organizations And we heard no CIA or FBI in that.
No,
Well, upset
no.
in that.
I'm glad to be rid of them.
That's right.
I was okay
They
with
got their
that
own
too, man.
problems with their alphabet over there.
They're probably not even up to snuff with the rest of these agencies. Yeah,
I would say the FBI.
But I mean,
Obviously not. We don't have that gun that shoots 53 bullets. So
Right.
fucking, we
Right.
ain't with
think
them.
about the name of Pathaan's organization, Joker.
Yeah. I thought
pretty
that was
good.
funny too. I was like, oh, that's pretty badass. Like, it was just, it was a fun movie. It was a lot of fun. Again, I needed that because Barfy done fucked me up. So it was nice to have something that was just like you could literally have on and just be like, oh, this is awesome. Like,
Yeah,
who
like,
cares?
It's a palate cleanser. It's not a bad palate cleanser. It's not trying to
Right.
get anything bad out, but it's like it's leveling it back out again for us to to go back.
Yeah.
Hurts can only take so much.
So
man.
we're not so emotionally raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
You know,
hugging every other person afterwards.
to go back to what Nate was saying, Nate, I had the same sentiment. Like, is the seeming lack of heart in this movie as compared to some of the other films that we watch? Is that like a modern occurrence in Indian cinema? But then I thought to myself, well, I don't think so, because among the movies that we've seen, RRR and Brahmastra are very new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at least last year, maybe the year before it at most, and both of those movies have tons of heart, and so I think that maybe this is just one of those things where it's like when you watch The Expendables. The Expendables got the amount of depth of a wet spot on the pavement, and so you're not expecting that kind of like
gravitas.
Yeah, gravity. Thank you. That's perfect. Yeah. So. But yeah, I mean, it was enjoyable, but yeah, I agree. There's not a lot of depth to this particular film.
My favorite part though was the very end with the GQ fashion show dance thing. Did you watch through the credits? Like they're standing on the cars and they have the winds going through. Like, oh my god, it was so good. I was like, when did we get into Milan fashion show?
I'm telling you, there's like great scenes in there where I thought they did great. Like even my kid was watching the beginning with me, and it was the part where they introduced the girl, and it's like a fucking everyone's dancing and singing and shit. My kid goes, "Are they doing a music video? Is this like he's like what? He's like they're filming a music video, right?" I go, "No, but I go, this is remember they always have like," and so we're watching, and she leads them over there, and then like she's in the pool. And I just love the way that led up to that. You know what I mean? Like, he she swims by him and he's, Jim. He's sitting there and shit like that, like, looking at him. And I was like, oh shit,
and he like
Jim's
looks
pissed.
at him and he goes,
yeah.
He looks at him.
Jim's always on top of it, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, that's so badass.
Jim even had shorter shorts than Pathaan did. You know what I'm saying?
He made me want to go exercise. Fuck Arnold. Fuck all those guys. Like, looking at that dude.
Yeah, you know what though? Pathaan's abs were way better than Jim's abs. You could see the airbrush.
Yeah.
You could see the airbrush, and they wouldn't like they would show his abs long enough for me to be like, "Is that airbrush?" Oh, it went away. Then I try to rewind it, and I'm just like, "Oh, he's got his abs are airbrushed." Pathaan's weren't.
No,
Pathaan
he was fucking ripped, but dude, Jim's legs though were fucking just like I'm talking as a straight man. I saw that and went, damn, I need to get worked out. Like fuck that.
During talking from here on out, we're gonna see Fuzzy doing like squats in the back.
Speaking of the previous films though, did anybody recognize that Pathaan also was in Brahmastra?
No. When you guys pitched me this movie and you said Expendables, right? You're like, oh, it's kind of like the Expendables. I went in going like, oh, I'm gonna see Vikram. I'm gonna see all. So the whole movie, I'm like watching. I go, okay, so and so's gonna pop up. And then when the one guy shows up with the fucking scarf, I went, here it goes, dude. Here we go. We're gonna see Vikram. And then he came down. I go, who's that guy? I don't remember that guy. That's all fucking. But dude, yeah, like I couldn't recognize anyone. So the guy was from
the main actor who played Pathaan. He was in the beginning of Brahmastra.
He fights the monkey guy.
Yeah, he was the monkey.
He's the monkey scientist.
Yeah,
guy.
scientist.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
shit!
him.
I didn't know that.
He gets killed in the beginning of that film. So,
Spoiler.
oh, sorry. We already did a review of it, so if you don't know by now, it's
yeah,
your
that's
fault.
on you.
Yeah, teach you to fart in church. Yeah, this was fun. Like when I give my rating for this one, I'm not giving it on plot. I'm giving it on feeling, like the fun of it. You know what I mean? Like what it was, like kind of thing. Like because there was no plot, there was no heart. You know, like I could give a shit. This was the first one we watched. I didn't give a shit about the girl or like the love. So I was like, fucking, who cares? Just shoot the guy, dude. Kick his ass, dude. Like I was loving it.
No offense to the leading lady in this film, but of the ones that we've seen so far, she's probably been like on the lower tier of the leading ladies. Definitely not like from Barfy, man.
She's no Tina, that's for sure.
Yeah, fuck no. There's no woman out there. No, sorry, Liz, I'm talking about you too. No woman compares to Tina. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Nothing compares to Tina.
Making sure my wife ain't popping around the corner as I say that. So get a fork in my fucking neck.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it, Liz.
Yeah.
Radioactive Curry. How spicy was this movie for you?
For me, it's a 7. It's still really fun to watch, and I'll watch it again. You know, I watch all these action movies over and over and over again, and this one will just slide into those types of action movies that I'll watch over again. The action was fun, the music was great, it had all the explosions you could ever want. Like they fought on helicopters, they fought in a falling house, they fought on trains, they fought on trucks, they did like everything. It was a lot of fun, and it was
motorcycles in the snow.
Oh, that reminded me of the James Bond. What is it? Diamonds Are Forever. No.
Was it Die Another Day?
Die Another Day. Yeah, the Halle Berry one. Yeah. So that when I saw it, when they started throwing, that was the other thing. I was like, they really haven't done any snow. Oh shit! Here it is. Like, it's out on it's like cars out on the ice. It's the little flying stuff, and then Josh even said, he goes, no, it's not just like regular snowmobiles on the ice. No. It's regular motorcycles that are out there. On the
with
snow.
3 grenades. They have 3 grenades attached to the front. Like I kept going like, who the fuck puts grenades on their motorcycle? But whatever, let's do it.
Right.
Keep going.
That's what I mean. But yeah, this is fun. I definitely would recommend it. And it was needed for us right now with the string of movies that we've been watching. We needed something to like, or for me anyway, I needed something to like, you know, shake me back up and get pumped. Yeah. Your turn.
Oh. You know, in thinking about how to rate this film, it occurred to me that probably what I need to do is to go back and see how I've rated previous movies in our Radioactive Curry series, just because, you know, I want to give a more proper evaluation based on where these things are going to fall in like a listing, at least according to my sentiment. So it's hard. It's because, like, when I think to the other films that we've seen, I enjoyed this more than I enjoyed Go Go Gone, and definitely more than Tombad. But it's it's not like
I'm right there with you. Those are the two. Those are the two.
Yeah, and that, like, so then I think like, but this is no Anhad Hun. This is not anything close to RRR or even which was the one with Disco Fighter? I forget. But you know,
PK?
Oh no, that was PK. PK was the alien one.
Yeah.
But anyway, all that to say is, you know, I think, you know, obviously the action is over the top. It's a thrill ride. It's an adrenaline rush. That for me, there was a lot of laughing and clapping because as a guy, I like to see lots of fools getting shot and kicked in the face and stuff, which is always a good time. I agree that this movie didn't have heart, but I also don't think that the plot was ridiculous or like really strung out. It was a decent plot. It worked for the film. So you know, I want to give it like a 7.5, maybe a soft 8. It's pretty good.
All right, I'm lockstep with Josh with what he was saying, with everything I want to say except for the score, because it just, for the action ones, you know, if I'm going to set these up in dominoes and have the smallest domino be here, and the dominoes go bigger as we go, it would be a good idea to have some kind of a recollection of where we put everything.
Yeah, maybe when
But
we get to the 1 year mark, we can kind of do like the year in review or something like that.
that's a good idea. That's a good
Yeah.
idea. That's a good idea. For me, this one though, like, I wasn't putting, to my recollection, this wasn't. I want to say I was like Bahubali. I put like an 8 or a 9 or something. And I don't want to put this one with Bahubali. I like that one more. So I'm going like, I don't know. I'll keep it at a 7. I'll keep it at a 7. It was a good time, but I was in my head a lot when I was watching it because I wanted to see a kernel of originality in it somewhere, and I didn't catch any of it. And we've been getting so much of like heart and thought and originality in these movies from India that to not get that from one, it left me disappointed. And I don't want to say I'm disappointed in the movie because of it. I'm just disappointed like altogether because I've been getting something fresh every time.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel like this was fresh. Fuzzy?
All right, well, here comes the fuzzy scale.
100,249.
So for as far as a movie, I'm giving it a 6. Okay, okay. As far as a movie as in a whole, I'm giving it a 6. But as Josh was saying, it's fun. I was with you. I was literally laughing, like when he's fucking shooting the guys all crazy and doing all the stuff. So it gave me it gave me a Western movie that we haven't been able to get, okay, out here in this year. So because of that, I'm bumping it up to a 9. And you can't judge it in the same realm as some of the other movies we've watched because it wasn't trying to do that. You know what I mean? Like you have to look. It's looking like at a guy going like, I want to eat a steak, but I'm going to a burger joint. You know what I mean? We sat down and we were expecting, like you said, like the certain type of what we've been getting as a steak. But once we sat down and we saw that it's just like a regular burger, you know what I mean? It had a little bit extra fixings on it. You're just like, all right, yeah, I can eat a burger. You know what I mean? I'm in the mood for this. And we sit down and we watch it. And then it was just, okay, cool. This was a spectacle. Like it was literally just watching a spectacle in front of my eyes.
We've seen some spectacles before, though.
Right, but they had
like RRR was a spectacle. Bahubali was a spectacle, and they both hit us with portions of it that we never saw before. And this
right, but they weren't trying to make. I think this guy was literally trying to. It's like Black Dynamite, right? We love Black Dynamite, right? Like that movie was trying to make a '70s style movie. So there's all the silliness and this weird stuff in there. And in any other movie, you would go, "This is terrible," but you knew they were trying to make fun of it. And I think that's what this guy was doing. So that's the way I'm looking at it: is that he was trying to make an American action movie. You know what I mean? Like that's what he was trying to do. And I think they did it. Like it worked. That's why I'm giving it that score. I mean, so again, if you're looking for just a movie, it's a 6. You know what I mean? It's just it's plot's really simple. It's got the characters you could kind of care about, but not really. But as far as what I took away from it, like I had fun. I've sat through Fast X. This blew that out the water. Okay, I'll tell you that much, dude. Like fucking, and then I'll bet you they didn't even spend half the budget on fucking, you know what I mean, on that one. So that says something right there. So I think Havoc would even like this movie. Like that's how much of like a Western.
Yeah, honestly, I think he would like a lot of these movies if he would just get his head out of his ass.
Well,
but that's kind of hard, right?
That's a big
ass. That's a big ass, right? All right.
Small head,
so remember, if you're watching with us, please keep the suggestions coming. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit that bell. It really helps. Tell your friends about us, and I want to throw a call out there. You got something that's going to get my originality juices flowing again, Doesn't have to be drama. Doesn't have to be action. It can be whatever. But let's get something that's gonna just be like, wow. I want to be like amazed with some creativity from that Indian motherland. So
No
Fuzzy,
swords and sandals. No swords and sandals.
Fuzzy, take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for watching with us. Don't forget to have some love, some peace, and that Popeyes grease, ladies and gentlemen. We out.
En esta noche la vida es como